doing an extended Q&A today because you had so many fantastic questions. I'll answer some of them now and some in the next video. I've also just uploaded an explanation of the Elman induction to the secret subscribers only playlist. So if you're a subscriber of either AmazingSleepHypnosis.com or AliciaFairclough.com, you can watch that video and any of the other hypnosis videos on that playlist now. If you haven't already subscribed, you can do so, and within a few minutes you will receive an email with a link to that playlist. Before I start answering your questions, I'm going to ask my question of the day, which is totally unrelated to hypnosis, but I'm super interested in you and where you're from and learning more about you. So my question is, what city or town or state do you live in, and what is it known for? I find this stuff really fascinating, so pop your answer in the comments, and no doubt as I'm reading your responses, I'll end up down the Wikipedia rabbit hole, but it'll be fun. Now, answers to your questions. The first question, let's have a look. Can you explain more about triggers and how they work? I can. A really good way to think of a trigger is to relate it to the experience of a smell that immediately transports you to a particular memory or a song. You know when you're walking down the street and you get a whiff of perfume or aftershave and you're immediately reminded of a particular person, so much so that you can even feel it in your belly? It triggers an emotional response in you. Maybe you've experienced it with a particular song or the smell of certain foods. A hypnotic trigger is a trigger very similar to that is planted in the subject in the form of a post-hypnotic suggestion from the hypnotherapist. The tricky thing about triggers, and this is why I'm yet to upload a trigger video, is that for a trigger to be really effective, you need to create an emotional link within the person receiving the trigger. It needs to mean something. In the context of a stage show where you're dealing with short-term triggers and people who are highly suggestible, you can make use of a trigger such as when you hear X sound, you'll jump up and scream hip hip hooray. But most people aren't going to respond this way, and in a therapeutic context, implementing an appropriate trigger is much more nuanced. The next question, where did you learn hypnosis? I learned hypnosis at Coastal Academy of Hypnotic Arts in British Columbia. I made a video, actually, I think I've mentioned it in a few videos, and if you're interested in hearing more about that, I will pop a link to one of those videos at the end. Okay, next question. Is it possible to go into trance reading a hypnosis script? It is. I have definitely experienced trance states when hypnotizing other people, but a more common example for me is when I'm writing a script. Sometimes it just flows out to the point that it almost feels automatic to me. And I definitely go into what I would describe as a mild trance state. Next question. What have you been up to? I did take a rather lengthy and pretty unexpected break from YouTube. I'm still not making as many videos as I would like to, but I am getting there and I have lots on the way. I won't be taking a break like that again anytime soon. It was necessary for my mental and physical health that I step away for a while. It was also necessary from a logistical perspective because, as many of you know, I moved from Sydney, Australia to London. International moves are pretty intense and require a lot of energy in various directions, and also not having a filming space for a long time or my equipment. So there were a bunch of reasons for my YouTube hiatus, but I am making my way back. I am thoroughly enjoying London and being in this part of the world, and I'm really starting to feel like I'm settling in, so that's good. Okay, let's go with one more. Last question. Does saying words slowly and with an accent help the hypnosis subject? You definitely do not need to speak with a super slow, soothing tone to hypnotize someone. All hypnotherapists have a style. I have mine. Some people will enjoy it and respond to it, others won't. I do get complaints from people who would like me to use an ASMR style tone. That's never going to happen, and this channel will never be an ASMR channel. ASMR and hypnosis have about as much in common as Pamela Anderson in VIP had in common with the security industry, for anyone old or daggy enough to remember where that reference comes from. If you're not, Google it, or don't, actually, because sometimes ignorance really is bliss. As for the accent, there is no evidence of this, but I have a hypothesis. Based on very limited anecdotal evidence, I am curious if having an accent that is different to the person listening or the subject almost forces the subject to pay more attention and be more focused on my voice. And as we know, focus is imperative when it comes to hypnotizing someone. So that's just a thought. Okay, so that's Q&A for today. You know how much I love to hear from you, so remember to post a comment with where you live and what it is known for. Also, feel free to ask any other hypnosis questions you like, and I'll answer them in an upcoming Q&A. Catch you soon. Mwah!